Let's start with the presentation of the athlete, starting with the women representing Austria. Already got a European champion title on this stage. Ladies and gentlemen, from Austria, Sandra Lettner. Going to the man, another guy that has got a lot of experience till the 50th place in the European Cup and 9th place in the best 10 in the World Cup. Talking about lead in Krani from Slovenia, Martin Bergant. Going back to the center of Europe, a guy that already took a silver medal and looking for a gold. And he got the 3rd place in Prague, representing France, Agathe Callier. And staying in France, another guy that had already took a gold medal in the European Cup in 2021. Ladies and gentlemen, Mathieu Ternant. Back to the ladies. That girl is an iconic girl that got the 4th place in the World Championship of 2019. And I want to say, stay with Ukraine for Eugenia Kazbekova. Going back to the island of Great Britain. This guy got the 4th place in the European Cup and the 9th place in the World Cup, talking about lead, and today it's here to talking about boulder. Ladies and gentlemen, James Pope. The next girl is a girl that make the combination format is best practice, getting the 2nd place in the combined European Cup and won the last bouldering European Cup in Prague. Ladies and gentlemen, representing Austria, Eva Maria Hammelmüller. And for the man, this guy is a kind of iconic master of all the discipline. He got the 2nd place in the World Youth Champion. Then he got the 3rd place in World Championships 2019, and he's actually the World Combined Champion. Ladies and gentlemen, for Germany, Yannick Floe. Back to the ladies, we have that girl from 1996 from Israel that got the 5th place in the European Championships in 2019 and the 5th place in Prague in the last stage of the European Cup. Ladies and gentlemen, Yael Tabou. And the next guy is definitely a legend of our sport. European champion in 2020. He got the overall World Cup winning in 2018 and is a 9A climber and AC boulder. Ladies and gentlemen, representing Slovenia, the one and the only, the legend, Jernej Kruder. The next young lady, it's pretty spectacular because she got the 2nd place at the European champion, talking about lead, but she also took the victory on the World Cup lead in Briançon 2021. Ladies and gentlemen, representing Czech Republic, Eliska Adamovska. Going back to the guys, another guys that have already won in the European field, talking about lead, and is also the vice European champion for lead in 2020. Ladies and gentlemen, representing Belgium, Nicolas Collin. Coming back to the Slovenian national team, we have a girl that took the 3rd place already in the European Youth Cup, but she also took the 3rd place in the last stage of the European Senior Bouldering Cup. Ladies and gentlemen, from Slovenia, Lana Skusek. And the next climber is a climber that is a legend on the rock. He is one of the men who climb the most boulders in the world, and he is one who can say that have doing the first ascent of a 9A boulder. Ladies and gentlemen, representing Belgium, the legend Simon Lorenzi. Going to the last, aka the best of the girls. Another girl that's coming from Slovenia. She already took 3rd place in the European Youth Contest, but she also took the 6th place in the big arena of Monaco in the World Cup. Ladies and gentlemen, Julia Kruder. And the last, aka the best for the man. This guy won a lot of time in the European youth field, got the 8th place in the World Championships of 2019 and the 5th place in the European Championship of 2020. Ladies and gentlemen, representing Sweden, Hannes Puman. And so now here we are. The athletes are ready. Please, Bressanone, show all of your love for these guys. Make a noise! And we are going to start with the final round of the 2nd stage of the European Cup. Welcome everybody, let's go!
And we got our athletes out. Sorry, I cannot explain the boulder anymore. We got Letner Sandra from Austria on women's 1, and we got
Martin Bergant from Slovenia.
athletes take the time, inspect the boulder, make sure that they got the right beta before they execute.
4 minutes for each athlete. You will see the clock on the top right of your screen. Really powerful first section. No feet on the wall, and they must cross. According to Jackie, going right hand first into this middle holds is not the right beta.
It's a big no-go, but maybe you got small hands and you can match.
Sandra is proving that wrong with her first go. Bravo.
And Martin is cruising the first one. So Root Setters said that the first part on men's will be pretty physical and technical confusing at the top.
Easy for Sandra. Well done.
Beautifully
with
flashed.
A flash. And Martin got to the zone and he got his left hand onto the volume, and then he was supposed to switch it to an undercut.
Still 2.5 minutes to go. Plenty of time to send the block, but we shall see. So for the format, we got 5 minutes on, 5 minutes off. Semi-final format. Yes, but semi-final format is not really a name. We need more, you know, like that. The name.
That's what they are calling it in the comment section, yes.
Yeah. And 5 minutes on, 5 off. Well, this is more 4 on, 4 off, but yeah, same. Okay, Martin is off.
Interlaced chain method is still the best name, guys. Waiting for a better one. Martin back to the zone.
Cruising. And now supposedly he's... And he's... Oh no!
And falls unexpectedly.
So supposed beta, but it could be broken. Was meant to have a toe hook on a volume where his right foot is now, and turn the right hand into an undercling.
The left hand.
The left hand into an undercling.
But of course, these guys are so strong that it's difficult even for the root setters to imagine what they can do.
Yeah, and people got different strengths, different weaknesses, and different levels of imagination.
Different facial hair. Let's appreciate the mustache of Martin.
Come on, 1 minute to go.
Martin, by the way, is 26
6
years of
old.
age.
1.82 m, if anybody's wondering and saying, oh no, for tall people it's easier. And overall top rate is 33.33%.
Goes for the top again. With 26 seconds to go. Is he going to choose to go again? Let's remember he will not have that much time to rest. It will only be 5 minutes. Goes for it again.
Come on, Martin.
Choosing
Come
the same beta for the top.
Oh, and he disappears from the screen. Good effort from Martin, really good.
Good effort, especially on the second attempt.
And now we got Kaliet Agate and
Mathieu Ternant from France.
so
Two French athletes on the stage.
they did really good in the semi-finals. Thus they're in the finals with us today. Okay, so how the root setters imagine the women's first would be they start, then they go right hand on the first hold, then cross under into the next hold, and then grab the zone with the right hand. And then the moment now where she's standing on a wall just smearing, they said that that's kind of the hardest part.
They were supposed to cross, but Agathe is doing
The same
as Sandra did, yes. Successfully so. Matthew on his first attempt chooses a similar beta to Martin.
And Agate got the top.
An easy top for her. Easy to say easy.
Yeah, easier said than done. But it was all dialed in. She executed perfectly.
Just 18 years of age. Agathe. Matthew is 26.
Who is the youngest in the finals? From women, Agatha is the youngest, 18. The youngest of men is...
Yannick Flohe, I believe.
Yeah, Yannick Flohe. And the oldest is Jernik Rude, 31 years of age.
We are all waiting to see him compete.
Yeah. And the passion is not fading whatsoever.
Heart on his sleeve, as we always hear from the commentators, right?
Yeah. Come on, Matthew. Oh, he didn't start correctly.
For those who might not be aware, you see labels on the starting positions. Each label means one limb of your own choice. In this case, he is supposed to start with 3 limbs on these blue volumes and 1 limb on the left.
Yeah, and what he did a toe hook straight away, and that was kind of skipping a move and not really doing a start. Come on, Arthur. No. That's wrong name on a screen. I'm sorry, that's Matthew.
One more minute remaining, definitely time for one really good attempt. taking a rest, Matthew.
.50 seconds to go, and most likely one good attempt left in a tank. Afterwards, we got men's 2 on one slab, the orange-blue pill holds, and women's on the other slab.
So you will be seeing 4 athletes climbing at the same time.
So we got somebody asking where they can find the results for the qualification. If you download the IFSC app, you can find qualification results, semi-final results, and refreshing live results from the finals.
It's called WC Series for the application, or if you go to ifsc-climbing.org, you can see all the live results there. Navigating to competitions, calendar, and then selecting the competition of your choice. The application is more convenient, in my opinion.
Yeah, and just don't forget to kind of like swipe for refreshing. Otherwise, the result stays from the last refresh.
So we see James Pope on the mats on his first attempt on men's number 1.
And Yevgenia Kazbekova on women's first boulder.
So far, the 2 ladies, Agatha and Sandra, flashed the first boulder.
Okay. It seems like Jim got confused for the start and then used the back volume as well.
I wonder if they counted that as an attempt.
Probably.
And that's because the 2 volumes are not actually connected, therefore you cannot start with a tow hook.
Come on, Jene.
Yevgenia with a massive drop knee.
Showing off her flexibility, and
let's not jinx it. Another flash for
women's 1.
Yeah, women's 1, 3 flashes.
And James is on at the zone. Come on, James. What is he holding? He seemed like he was holding a big hole, but it's just like a little screw hole. It's amazing what these athletes can hold on to.
So far, no one has attempted the right volume.
Yeah, and Sandra Lettner topped the boulder 2 of women's slab, which was meant to be a tricky start, kind of, for finding the right body position.
Can we have a look at men's number 2?
And yes, we got Martin Bergant on men's number 2.
Here you have a tricky start into a mantle on the second orange volume, into a zone, and then a very delicate top that will test everybody's confidence and precision
on their feet.
Come
on, Martin. Zone was easy with this thumb-catchy Gaston. And if anybody touched those blue pill holes, they know how shallow they are. It requires quite a bit of confidence to stand up. Ooh, and he's off. But he was going for the move of what I anticipated, that athletes will kind of like lean onto the opposing wall or perpendicular wall and then creep onto the top, instead of standing up slowly and going for the top, what Jackie said.
Yes, the commentary of Jackie was going for the top slowly and in a controlled fashion. James Pope actually tried the toe hook method and got close.
But he's one of the shortest athletes, and I think that better brings him really under the top hold.
No information on his height, unfortunately, on IFSC.
But looking at the lineup, when they stand on the mats, you can clearly see that he's not the tallest. Okay. So 2 men, 25 seconds, 2 different boulders, a muerte. Come on. Martin gets to the zone rather easily. But the hardest part is to get to the top. Come on, Jim. And Martin, ooh.
James Pope going for the intended beta.
And he's off. So
Very
far,
close.
no tops
No
on
top
men's
on
one,
men's number 1.
and no tops on men 2.
Next up on the mats, we will see the world's combined champion Yannick Flohe.
And we got a replay of Yevgenia Kazbekova, excuse me, topping women's 1. Okay, Yannick Flohe men's 1. We've got Hammermüller Eva Maria women's 1.
And Matthew Ternant off to a very quick start on men's number 2. It does make sense on these slabby problems to start early and be figuring it out as you go.
Because quite often it's not really on a flash, it's more like how fast you can do, like how many attempts, because you will most likely you will fall trying there. Ooh, but he's got a flash
and flashes it with only 45 seconds.
So does
flashes.
Yannick, yeah. And Eva Maria is still on the ground. I haven't seen if she tried or. Okay. And we got Kalia Agate on women's 2.
Women's 2 into this big mantle. A very tricky start here, where the route setters were expecting a few drops. And then into a massive mantle to the top.
So you could see a glimpse of the dynamic move on the women's 1. So basically they do this powerful part with no feet, and they get on the volume. And then they need to jump with left hand up and then kind of palm down with right hand to hold the swing. And we got a replay of men's stops.
The faith in his feet. Admirable.
Standing like on the ground, you know. Okay, so let's see the start of this boulder. Okay. Almost 2 minutes left, plenty of time.
Eva Maria Hammermüller will be on her 3rd attempt soon, and
for those who
Agathe on the zone.
Can see her right foot is on a little screw on under the volume.
It's dual texture. There is nothing on the, and she's going for the top.
Yeah.
With style.
A little flick of a foot.
With style.
So all eyes on Eva Maria at the moment. Getcha. Ooh.
Route setters expected, did Jackie say 4 or 5 tops on the first boulder?
Okay, so far we got 2.
We've got 3.
3?
To date, yes. Sandra, Agathe and Yevgenia all topped out the first boulder.
True, sorry. And we still got 4 athletes, or 5 with Eva Maria. But nobody's doing the intended cross on the beta. Women got a lot smaller hands. They can match those little screw-ons. But that's true. Come on, Eva Maria. 20 seconds. Cheeky knee bar. It must be so painful on those. Oh, look at the knee already bleeding. Determination and just stubbornness. Embracing the pain.
And so for all fans around the world, like myself sitting here, we've got Yernik Kruder coming out on the mats. And we have the incredibly strong Yael Taub
from Israel. And it's a replay of the mantle on women 2. Okay, so now we got view of all athletes on the mats. We're halfway through. Almost. Come on, Yal. And she's going
the cross method.
But very difficult looking kind of way. And Sandra Leitner on a women's 3.
It's the first time we are seeing this boulder.
Yeah.
And the idea of this was to have a powerful but fairly straightforward from the route reading perspective first section up to the zone, and then a very complex,
confusing, unclear beta kind
difficult
of
to understand the beta in the upper section of this. And we are seeing Sandra trying to figure out what to do.
And in a split screen we've got Martin Bergant flying off men's 3. Come on, Sandra.
Only the last move remaining.
But she read the beta correctly. And she's going for the top. She was
Brilliant.
holding on for, I don't know, half of a minute up there?
Brilliant from Sandra Lettner from Austria.
3 tops so far.
3 tops.
I think she did the second boulder. We didn't see it on the screen, but let's check the results.
3 tops in 4 attempts. And we're also seeing a quick replay of Yevgenia Kazbekova topping out women's number 2.
Okay.
Yevgenia flashed both the boulders that she has attempted this afternoon. James Pope going for the zone.
Very confident on his feet.
Let's see, now is the test. Now is the real test of confidence, going for a heel hook.
Knowing that he'd done some pretty crazy climbs on gritstone, where you really need to trust your feet.
He is the man that we should have our confidence in for this move.
But he's doing a heel hook. Other guys were putting toes in a dish.
Let's see what he chooses for the second
and Martin.
Second go.
Ooh. According to our inside knowledge, the athletes should try to go slow for the last hold, because it's good but very small, so you need to be really precise. And the feet are facing the wrong way with these dual texture holds.
With men's number 3, it's a similar conceptual idea to women's number 3, with a powerful start and then a complex finish, difficult to find the body positioning, but once you do, you are victorious.
And
going for
James
hook.
Tops men's 2.
Does not struggle with confidence, this man. Well done, James Pope.
And ooh, Martin's foot popped off. The big blue.
And Yael gets to the penultimate hold, looks at the clock. With 10 seconds remaining, she matches the top.
And what happened to Jerne Kruder? Because we had other athletes on the screen, and Jerne
only got the zone.
Okay.
I see, so only.
As everybody.
Good job.
Okay. Okay, so now we've got Colin Nicholas from Belgium on Boulder 1.
And Eliska Adamovska
from Czech Republic.
Training machine, as she has been called. Really good in lead climbing, but recently focusing on bouldering as well.
And we got a replay of
Sandra
Lettner and James Pope.
With 3 minutes 30 on the clock, let's maybe take a look at the current athletes.
Okay,
there we go.
And again we got the mantle section of the women's 2, but we're still waiting to get a visual from our technical directors. If you're just tuning in now, welcome to European Boulder Cup finals in Brixen, Italy.
Where Matthew Ternant looks to match the top, and he does.
And he's the first athlete to top
do
it.
so.
Yeah. Well done. And it seems that Adamovska topped.
She's off the mat, so
yeah, so most likely
she must have flashed it.
Okay, and you can see
Yannick Flohe
on a slab.
On the slab, about to test his confidence.
In a semi-finals, he was swapping his shoes on a slab. Swapped one shoe, came off, swapped the other shoe, and then came off again. And Agate Collier on a women's 3.
Tops the third boulder. Do you remember Jackie saying only 1 or 2 women should top this and maybe none? We're already seeing a second top.
Yeah, and he was tweaking the boulder the last moment. But never mind. It's really a hard job.
To be a route setter?
Yes, well, at this level, you know, not the recreational jug ladder, but this is really a tough job to just set perfectly to separate the competitors, but not too hard and not too easy.
And to make it so
and make it spectacular. Yes,
pleasing.
yes.
To put up a good
and
show.
Yannick tops men's 2. And on the men's 1, we've got Nicholas Müller. Not Müller.
Nicholas
Collin, yes.
About to go for the top.
And he's got different foot placement.
Oh, look
and
at that movement.
That was
the
very
way
easy. It made it look a lot easier than other athletes.
That was really brilliant.
And now, is anybody still on the wall? No, we still got a minute.
I would love to see a replay of Nicholas Collin generating the momentum from his elbow while toe hooking the volume. Let's see if we can make that happen.
Yeah, I just requested from technical staff, and let's see. There you go, Nicholas.
The hook.
He's the first man to top this one.
And no, he's not.
No?
There was also Yannick, I believe, who topped. It was Yannick who flashed this boulder, in fact.
Because we didn't see Yannick flash. Don't remember. There's so much action, it's so fast. Imagine being an athlete on the mats. It just flashes in front of you and then the competition is over. So much preparation, waiting in isolation, warming up, and then you just got those 20 minutes to climb, really.
And you have been climbing the day before and in the morning for semifinals.
Yeah.
We are seeing Simon Lorenzi, the second power horse from Belgium.
And Lana Skusek from Slovenia.
An incredible athlete, Simon. Let's see him on men's boulder number 1. Yevgenia Kazbekova so far with 2 flashes. Let's see what she is able to show on women's number 3.
James Pope at the right side of your screens. You can see him battling with a men's 3. Doesn't seem like he's struggling, not having a hard time at all.
Looking strong.
Looking really strong. And now he's entering the
delicate section.
The delicate, hard, interesting body positioning session.
Trying to crimp the top of the volume, Simon.
And 2 athletes off, and Jim is still, and he tops. Flash!
It's a flash for James. It's also a flash for Lana. It's a fest of flashes. It's a flashing fest.
On your left, you can see
Yevgenia Kazbekova flashing a 3rd boulder in a row, with only 1 boulder left to go for her.
And Jerne Kruder tops men's 3. There are a lot of tops in this competition. Almost too many, according to route setters. We got...
They did not expect this to be a flash fest.
Yeah, they said it shouldn't be a flash fest. And on women's 4...
Sandra Lettner going for the top in a powerful move, gets it and matches the top. Well done. Sandra is there with 4 tops in 5 attempts if this was a flash.
6 attempts. It was a third attempt.
In 7 attempts actually.
Oh, 7
in
attempts,
total.
yes.
Okay. So far that's the best result. She stands in the first place. She has finished all the boulders, topped all of them. 4 tops in 7 attempts and 4 zones in 6 attempts. So far that's the result to beat.
Okay, on men's 4, we've got Martin Bergant, and we've got a replay of Sandra topping.
Described as pretty straightforward, but really powerful section. Martin gets the zone.
This boulder is meant to be pretty straightforward. A jump at the bottom dyno, and then physical straight to the top.
Just needs to get his way to the left.
And slips off the top, screams.
Still 1 minute to go. 1 minute to go.
Plenty of time,
He can do
plenty of
it.
time.
Look at the determination in his eyes. He's already done it in his mind. He can do it. Yael dropping from the mantle movement. It's a tight race for the women.
Okay,
Already
now
4 tops.
we will get the start of women 2.
For the first time, actually, yes. And
Yes,
this was
for the
supposed to
first
be
time, yes.
a great spectacle.
There you go. Very easy. She figured out the body position. Because as you can see, the start handhold is not so great. It's pretty poor. It's very open-handed, slopey.
You
and
must stay close to the wall.
not only close to the wall, but you really need to pull to the right. So lean.
With 4 seconds remaining, unfortunately, for Simon Lorenzi. No
And
top.
Martin is off the mat.
Martin is off the mats, which is unclear what that means. But we're about to
Okay,
tell you.
and we got Julia Kruder on women's 1.
And that's the last athlete to come out on the mats. For these are the athletes that did the best in the semifinals. So that's reverse order for those of you that are not familiar with the train format or the interlaced chain format, also called the semifinals format. Still waiting for a better name? Nothing yet, no?
No.
Okay.
People are just saying that the women boulders seem too easy.
Too easy.
Yes.
Or the women are too strong.
Determination is there.
And we are seeing Matthew on the last boulder. So far with 2 tops and 3 zones.
And
Nicholas
we've got
Collin,
Nicholas on men 2.
the test of confidence boulder.
And
Also
Matthew
going for the heel.
topped men's.
It's a flash. So Matthew is the first man to finish. Actually, Martin Bergant has already finished. He did not top any of the boulders. We see Nicholas Collin topping the confidence boulder, even though he started off with the heel.
And the only Czech athlete in this competition.
Eliska Damovska going for the top with ease.
Okay,
Not impressed by this boulder.
Hannes Puman on men's 1. He topped in the finished in the first place after semifinals. That's why he's the last one out. He's more known as a lead climber, but
Doing great this weekend, apparently, in Boulder.
yeah. Yeah. And Yannick Floy on a men's 3. Let's see. We got 2 tops at the moment on men's 3. And Yannick doesn't find a big problem there either.
Quick jump and the match. That puts Yannick currently into the second position with 3 tops and 3 zones. In the first position we have Matthew Ternant, who has already finished all 4 boulders. A quick glimpse of Agaf Callier topping out the 4th boulder.
But, oh yeah, I don't know where she was standing and chatting with the judge. I wasn't sure if they counted the top, but yeah, she's leaving the mat, so for sure she got the top.
So Agaf already finishes the final competition. She's currently in the 2nd place with 4 tops in 9 attempts. Sandra Lettner is still ruling with 4 tops.
And a replay of Eliska Adamovska top in women's 2 and Yannick Floe top in men's 3.
1 minute and 8 seconds to go. Come on, guys.
Here we are seeing Julia Kruder. With a minute to go.
Ale,
She's
come
trying
on.
to find her way through.
And she's doing like everybody, matching that. And on a split screen we've got Hannes Puman.
Going for what is probably his last attempt.
42 seconds.
He might have time for one more, but let's hope he will do it on this one. Come on, Hannes. Making up his mind, making up his mind for that last attempt, going dynamically, and a tiny slip of the right foot. We've seen that slip many times from our athletes, trying to find a knee bar, and she does. So technical, so beautifully executed.
And she's wearing leggings, so she's not sacrificing a lot of skin.
Good for her, and with 10 seconds, come on, can she get it? Can she get it? Goes for the penultimate hold with 5 seconds to go. She goes quickly.
3, 2,
and matches
1.
just in time.
Ooh,
Is
it's
this going
questionable.
to be? It's
That's
really
very
questionable.
questionable.
Let's see. We're going to update you on this one.
And there will be some...
I don't know, it did not seem control.
yeah, it seemed controlled, but then the feet popped off, and then... there you go, we got a replay.
One hand, second hand, a little rushed. She could have, of course, it's a slip, and I don't think it is.
I don't think it's a top.
I don't think this is gonna count. It's she could easily have, but probably did not. Here we are seeing Lana on
there you
women's
go.
number 2.
So we haven't seen this part of the boulder yet. So
now we have in a perfect
yes.
display of mobility.
And rather easy mantle stand up, pistol squat into the top.
Squat just finds the perfect trajectory to do this boulder.
Okay,
and we have Yevgenia Kazbekova on women's number 4. She's a real contender for the win here. She has flashed all 3 boulders, and this is going to be her first attempt, I believe. She has not yet tried this boulder. Look, Jackie has left the volume there.
Okay.
They were wondering whether to leave one of the volumes there for the women, and she goes for her first attempt.
Ooh, and she slips. And we've got the editor's cut off there. And Jerny
this is
tops.
not a bad cut.
Yeah.
Jerny Kruder
But
topping.
we got a glimpse of everything. Start of women's 4, start of men's 4, and a finish on men's 3 with a top.
Non-stop action here in Brixen.
It would be a lot easier commenting if we had one athlete per boulder. But then, you know, we would be here for a lot longer time.
And now we will have time for beer and pizza.
Yeah, but... it's hard for those at home enjoy the scenery and the view, because it's hard for the directors to cut to the athletes. At the moment we've got what? We've got 2 athletes. And we got Yevgenia Kazbekova
on her second attempt, I believe.
Ooh! Unfortunate slip.
And so now is going to be her last attempt that can still secure a victory for her. Anything beyond that is going to put her in a second or below position. A lot of tension there. She might know it, she might not. Sometimes athletes count it, or they have a feeling of how well the other athletes did, but you can never precisely know the number of attempts. And she falls short of the zone.
She's not using the big yellow hold for the left hand, she's just jumping into that one. which kind of makes it harder, I suppose, because it opens her shoulders out. And there you go. You can see everybody cheering up for Yevgeny and James Pope.
James Pope still battling
There you
with
go.
the first
That
jump.
Dino. Ooh, and he's trying to grab that. Where supposed beta is double catch on the yellow and then bump
And
into
then
the
bump
blue.
to the right.
There you go.
Those of you who
And she holds
go,
on
Yevgenia
beautifully.
on the zone already.
And the top is just
Going for the last
straightforward,
hold.
powerful.
There
And
we
she
go.
goes for the top.
Well
Nice.
done. Well done, Yevgenia.
Photographer was too late to take a picture at the top. And Yevgenia finishes,
Finishes in third currently. Currently she's in third with 4 tops in 10 attempts.
and she will probably stay in that position unless there are any appeals to the tops or.
We still have Eliska Damovska who has and Lana Skusak who both flashed their
Oh, yeah, true.
their first 2 boulders, so everything is still up for
Everything
grabs.
is still possible.
Everything is up for grabs, even the first position where currently we see Sandra Lettner with 4 tops in 7 attempts. And we have a new rotation of our athletes coming back to the stage. Wonderful organization of the event here in Brixen. They're really doing their best, preparing for the World Cup that's coming up in a month. You have brushers, at least 2 brushers on every boulder. And another quick replay of Yevgenia. We're now seeing
On men's
Nicholas
3,
Collin and Eliska on women's number 2. So far Eliska has 2 tops, both flashes.
Hannes Puman on men's 2. Yannick Flores sticking a Dino.
In his first attempt, going for the top.
Cruise mode is on. Eliska
And
Damovska
short.
is on women's 3.
Did you see Hannes?
No, I was looking at Eliska.
That's because he flashed it so quickly, there was no time to see.
Okay. And then Eva Maria topped the women's 4. She just walked off the mat.
Not
A lot of
flash, as
action
they
happening.
said. Trying to figure out this complex part of the boulder. Eliska on her first attempt. Elite climber, as you might know. She takes a rest, chalks up, takes a breather.
And that.
Finds a body position to be in a good place for the last move. Gets even more comfortable, finds a knee bar. Top with one hand and matches
Oh no,
it.
she matched.
And
It was
matches
behind
it.
her face. And a grin for the crowd.
3 flashes so far.
She was on the wall for so long. I was wondering, was it still a flash?
So that's the usual setup here. We have a lot of action and then we're left with a couple athletes. We can focus on them more clearly. Here we have Julia Kruder on women's number 2.
This part is probably the hardest of this boulder, transitioning from the start holds into that squat on a volume, and then the last part doesn't seem to be very difficult for all of the female athletes.
If you can mantle the way Julia can mantle, certainly easy. Yannick Flahe, 1 more attempt.
Minute and a half to go. Ooh! Foot popped off.
Currently Yannick has 3 tops in 11 attempts, which rests him in the 2nd place at the moment. Nicholas Collin with that nice heel hook. What an aesthetically pleasing boulder this one is. According to route setters, the top section is very difficult to figure out. But when you're on the wall, you're not necessarily figuring things out intellectually, but your body can simply tell you things intuitively.
We got some compliments from the spectators. They're saying that we're doing a great job. I'm keeping an eye on live chat. Some people saying that we're
boring, man.
Yeah, the commentators beefing with each other is a weird experience, but oh well. Can't suit everybody. And Yannick is back on men's 4.
With 20 seconds to go, both the athletes and the Yannick probably out of time with a spectacular performance still. 3 tops in 11 attempts, 4 zones currently
And
in
Nicholas
second
Collin
position.
fell off men's 3.
Out for another rotation.
So we got Simon Lorenzi on men's 3. We got a replay of Eliška Adamovska on a women's 3. It's a little bit laggy.
Supposed to be slow motion, probably.
It's a super slow motion. Never mind. I'll ask our director. There you go. We got a cut to actually current view.
Jerny going for his last boulder in this competition. Currently with 2 tops.
And Simon Lorenzi on men's 3. There you go. We haven't seen the start of this boulder. That was a beautifully executed. My hands are sweating. I really want to go touch those boulders. But I suppose every climber at home watching, they're just going like, oh, I really want to touch, I want to try.
Maybe they will let us try, no? After this.
Yeah, but I don't have my shoes. And in trainers is, you know, it's kind of like bad style. And he tops it.
Easily.
Well, the top part looked a little bit, kind of, he used this a little bit of a knee scumping. And Jerny is off the dyno.
We have Lana Skusek likely flashing the 3rd boulder, which was supposed to be climbed by 1 or 2 or even none of the women.
Let's see, updating the results.
Lana Skusek with 3 flashes as well. So we've got
Yes.
Eliška and Lana really fighting
And
for that
you can
first
see in
position.
the background,
Yael Taub going for the top. Of course, she does it with ease. Waves to the crowd. The Israeli team is certainly happy with her performance.
maybe the guys are right on a live chat that the boulders are too easy, but you know,
But who is to say we don't like seeing so many tops?
it is exciting.
A
The
flash fest
crowd
once
is
in a while.
going mad outside. We're sitting in this booth with the directors and watching the screen. We see the same stuff you see on the screen, guys. So we wish we were outside, getting the full view of everyone sitting in front of the stage. That would be amazing.
So Yael finishes her performance with 3 tops and 4 zones.
And currently in the 5th position.
Jerny eyeing out the 4th boulder.
He's the only athlete, all eyes on him. Ooh! And a nice roll
Nice
on
roll.
that. Jerny is known for really interesting haircuts during competitions. I remember when he had his hand shaved in his head. Yeah, but the hand shape was a hair and the rest was shaved. And so close. He needs a brusher. 50 seconds to go is enough to top. Come on, Jerny.
Jerny has been competing for almost 20 years now.
Almost 20 years, since 2004.
He is 31 years old now.
He's got plenty of experience behind his belt.
The oldest athlete on the stage tonight.
Today. So close. Come on, Jerny.
Still time for another attempt. He knows what to do. He really knows what to do now.
He knows what to do. Yes, he just needs that little bit of energy in the tank.
He will go
Is
for another attempt. He's not going to
He's
give
not
up.
calling it quits, knowing how passionate this athlete is. Look at him, look at him. The grin on his face that he's exhausted. I know what it means jumping so much. Yesterday I was flailing about myself.
And we have Jernej Kruder finishing in 4th position at the moment with 2 tops and 3 zones.
Commentators are Eduardas Jeromenko and Vaidotas Monstavicius from Lithuania, hence our unpronounceable names. And a commentator on a stage is Simone Rai, but he comments in Italian, and there is another guy who comments in German, because South Tyrol is
and
dual language region.
As we are continuing with the interlaced chain, aka the train method, aka the semi-finals method, you will now see that the first boulder has no competitors on it. So as we started with just a couple of competitors on the stage, we
Come
will
on,
be seeing
Hannes.
less of them now.
Took a deep breath.
A surprised look on his face.
Yeah.
Julia Kruder on boulder number
He's
3.
pretty creative. He can come up with methods to
I'm
do
sure he
bronze.
will.
Yeah.
Certainly will solve this.
And Nicholas Collin falling off men's 4.
A really powerful athlete, Nicholas Collin. So impressive to watch.
Eliska Adamowska on women's 4.
Wasting a few attempts, and these attempts
Can
are
cost a top of the podium.
they are really what is deciding the ranking of the podium.
And Kruder Julia doesn't seem to be struggling on women's 3. Knee bar.
Incredible finger strength. Let's see if she finds the twist of the hand. She does. Great hip mobility.
So where her right foot is, there is a little screw on hold. Now we can see it better. And we've got dual Eliska Adamovska view. And she tops it. Ooh, spoke too early. Jinxed it. I jinxed it. Ooh. And Hannes is... Come on, Hannes.
Finding a new method.
Yes.
Getting that next.
It seems
hold.
like after doing the start, this boulder becomes a tiny touch easier. Athletes can get to the zone, and then it becomes harder again. And we got a split screen. Both guys are racing to the top. And Eliska Adamovska,
Eliska tops it.
that puts her into...
The results are about to update, and Eliska Adamovska finishes her finals with 4 tops in 8 attempts, which currently puts her in the 2nd position. We are seeing Nicholas Collin going for the top in this massive shoulder move. Well done,
And
Nicholas,
he secures
matching
it.
the top.
Whilst Hannes Puman came off very close to the top. And he seemed pretty frustrated. Because he's got 30 seconds and he's trying for the last time.
It is definitely possible.
It's definitely possible. And he knows it. Ooh! And he went for a very different approach now.
Just to make a comment on the summed performance of Nicholas Collin from Belgium, he finishes his performance with 3 tops, 4 zones in 13 attempts. That currently puts him in the 3rd position, and we still have 2 more athletes to try the last boulder, which is going to rank them in the final order. That's Simon Lorenzi and Hannes Puman to go out on the last boulder. For women, we are still about to see Lana Skusek and Julia Kruder. 2 amazing Slovenian athletes.
There are a lot of supporters for Hannes Puman live in Brixen here and on our YouTube stream. We're getting threats if we not show him on the screen. But we are not controlling the pad which controls the camera angles and
But
stuff
we
like that.
control the controller who controls the pads.
Well, I need to nudge him on the shoulder and point what we want to see.
Gets the jump first go. Really insane coordination that is displayed by Simon Lorenzi.
And it seems like he's gonna secure the top.
confidence in his movement, really everything that he finds, the trajectory is superb, and tops out the last
And the
boulder.
celebration. Beautiful.
What energy from the man.
And only in 45 seconds.
Really, really impressive from
Whilst
Simon
Lana
Lorenzi.
Skusek is struggling with the women's dyno.
And that puts Simon Lorenzi into the first position at the moment, which means he cannot fall any lower than the second position. And we also see that Matthew Ternant has a guaranteed podium already. So Simon finishes his performance with 3 flashes on the second, third and fourth boulder and a zone on the first one. Lana Skusek,
All eyes on her.
the last athlete who can still get the first place.
Is that right?
I wish we knew how many attempts she has taken to right now, but I would confidently give this one for a winning attempt
Ooh.
still.
I don't know. At least 3 she had.
At least 3 she had,
And now it'll be the 4th attempt.
which would mean that
Or
with
maybe
this attempt
5th.
she can still win. If it's a 5th attempt, then in the end, guys, it's not so much about a win, it's a great display of the athleticism of some of the best athletes in Europe.
And quite a few of them compete on a World Cup circuit too.
Indeed. Some of them, of course, left to Seoul, where already we had a competition finish this morning.
We're not gonna spoil. If you want to see results or watch the replay, you can do so.
Slightly frustrated with this.
Minute and a half on the clock, plenty of time. Beautifully sunny outside.
Yes, you
We
see
got-
in the green, in the
We got
dark
our
green,
teammates,
we have
spectated.
Kypros.
Come on, Lana.
Trying
Unfortunate
to find her
slip.
way through.
And you can see how she goes for a very different approach. A lot of athletes were going directly into the red and skipping the yellow, and she goes for the yellow and not going for the red hold. She still can do it. There's plenty of time. She could rest 20 seconds and climb in the remaining 30. Because the boulder is what? 1 move? 2 moves? 3, 4 move boulder?
Let us know in the chat, please, what you think about this format. It's not usual to see 8 athletes and an interlaced chain method in the finals. Wondering what you think about it. It feels like it finished very quickly. There has been a lot of action.
It's very difficult for video directors, for people who are cutting us. Oh, she's stuck in the zone!
She gets it. She gets
And
it. with
she's
5
Russian,
seconds
she's
remaining.
got 6 seconds! Right, 4!
Genchik, she does
Oh,
it. Beautiful
what a beautiful
finish.
finale.
What a beautiful finish.
Everybody's going nuts, and next group is out.
Very well done, Lana Skusek from Slovenia.
Hannes Puman on a men's 4.
Final athletes on the stage. We are seeing Hannes Puman. We promise we are going to show him climbing. As Vaidotas said, we have been receiving threats in the chat, so he will be on the screen. We do respond well to threats. And we are seeing...
We don't want to climb in the rental shoes forever. And Hannes. Ooh!
going 2 hands.
But he went for a... Because it was kind of like dual with a tap kind of shoulder catch, where he just went into a shoulder catch straight away.
Right
Yeah.
away. And
But-
Julia Kruder on her last boulder tonight, and the last boulder that you are seeing tonight as well. A lot of slips on
And
this women's
Hannes,
number 4. Hannes
very powerful
once
climber.
more. Impressive shoulder strength.
Nowadays you cannot be
Julia
just
Kruder
very
wonderfully
lean.
executed on the edge, on the tip of the volume. She stopped herself. Stops
Beautiful.
without
And
problem.
Hannes is
Maybe Julia will wait for him to fist bump or something. No?
Oh no! Still, 2 minutes and a half, plenty of time. He touched second to last hold. He knows that he can hold it. He needs to just hold it together and send it. Come on, Hannes, everybody's rooting for you.
2 minutes 20 remaining, and we already know the provisional results. Don't take our word for granted. We're looking at the same WC series app that you can see. Sandra Lettner takes the first place with Eliska Adamovska in the second, and Agathe Callier from France in the third position. Julia Kruder finishes her performance with 3 tops and 4 zones, and in this flash fest of tonight, that puts her in the 7th position.
Okay, so people don't like this format. They think it's too messy, which I totally agree. It's like technically it's pretty hard to manage all the camera angles and commentating because there are so many athletes that happen at the same time. And if there are many athletes at the same time on the wall, it's really hard to do 4, 6, 7 kind of split screen and show everybody. Yeah, I totally agree. And then the athletes deserve the spotlight, like at the moment Hannes, because he's the only athlete on the wall.
Well, let's appreciate this last moment, probably the last climb of today.
1 minute 10 seconds. Come on, Hannes.
Going for the penultimate hold and going for the top.
Oh yeah. And ladies and gentlemen, Hannes Puman tops. And he waved at the camera. Celebrates.
And that concludes all the climbs of tonight. We have Simone Lorenzi taking the first position. Hannes, who just wonderfully executed the 4th boulder of men's, finishes in 5th position provisionally with 2 tops.
We'll get results on a screen from our directors. There you go, we got, that's men's.
Simone Lorenzi taking the first place, Matthew Ternant in second.
And women's first place goes to Austrian Sandra Lettner. Second place, Eliska Adamovska with, wow, the screen is green. So many tops, it's unbelievable. Well,
so let's start with the ladies. We are now to assign the medals for that second Continental Cup bouldering here in Brixen. On the 3rd place of that second Continental bouldering events, representing France, we have Agathe Callier.
Dritter Platz aus Frankreich für Agathe Callier.
Brava Agatha! On the 2nd place for that Continental Cup here in Brixen, silver medalist representing Czech Republic, Eliska Adamovska.
Bravissima Eliska Adamovska. Bravo.
And so, first place and winner again in this stadium, gold medalist of that Continental Cup here in Brixen, representing Austria, Sandra Lettner. have the bronze medalist representing Germany, Yannick Floe. Applausi. On the second place of the second Continental Cup event, silver medalist representing France, Mathieu Ternant.
Bravo Mathieu Ternant.
And so, first place and winner of that second continental stage of Bouldering Cup here in Brixen, ladies and gentlemen, golden medalist representing Belgium, Simone Lorenzi.
Allez, allez, bravo Simone Lorenzi.